Governor of Colorado. I know in that proverbial governor's mansion, you think Colorado citizens are inept, ignorant, and stupid. But the point that you forget is, not all of the residents in Colorado are born and raised here. Bare feet mountain folk running the trails, the barren land of Colorado. Some of us are from back east where we got an education, where we know the very epitome of corruption when we see it, much like your traffic court system. And how you rip off your residents when they're stopped for a bogus traffic violation, which you call DUI, which in some cases you make a federal offense. Only because, mind you, that you gain money. And you don't gain simple money. You gain thousands of dollars of ripping off Colorado citizens. Maybe your Colorado citizens don't care because you have your marijuana money, because you have your millennial Google money or Amazon money flowing through your system. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they're too stupid and too high to care off of marijuana. Maybe you can scam and get over on potheads. But this black man, no. I'm going to be your worst nightmare. Legally, politically, and socially. You may be your bureaucrats and oligarchs of your overpaid real estate and government bureaucracy and corruption. But I don't fear you, as I don't fear anyone in politics. And that goes all the way up to the White House and Capitol Hill, including your FBI and your CIA and everybody else in that Russian mafia payroll. Too many times in this country, people get ripped off. Because you don't have educated people. You have people caught up in this social inept ignorance of pot smoking, Google, Amazon, millennial bullshit, that nothing else matters. The only thing they're concerned with is as long as the money's flowing. Who cares about the working class? Who cares about the homeless? I feed mostly every day. Who cares about a mother raising kids and can't afford to live in a decent apartment because they're overpriced boxes? Governor, this doesn't affect you because you are paid by the taxpayers that you rip off, that you charge thousands and thousands of dollars for a bogus traffic violation. You don't care about that because that doesn't affect you. Your children or your members of your family get stopped. Police department works for you. You don't have to face that. You or your cronies of your corrupted, bureaucratic, so-called progressive state of Colorado. Now, the problem you're going to have with me is that I'm from back east. Raised in New Jersey, lived most of my life in Pennsylvania. And I seen the very epitome of corruption. From northern New Jersey, from Pennsylvania to New York City. And don't even get the inclination that I don't know what I'm talking about, because I do. I've seen it firsthand. From country ass southern New Jersey all the way up to overpaid New York City. Run by your bureaucratic oligarchs and your Italian mafia. I was in court yesterday. See this? That's what I'm talking about. That's your corruption. That's your corruption. And mainly, that's your corruption. And I'll tell you about your corruption firsthand. Defendant Isaiah James Shockley, people of the state of Colorado, driving under the influence, divided highway, wrong side, driving while the ability impaired. Court cost, $21. Court security cash fund, $5. Discovery, $5. Genetic testing surcharge, $250. Brain injury fund, $20. Alcohol evaluation fee, $200. Leaf assessment, $90. Victim compensation fund, $33. Driving under an influence, impaired, $200. Persistent drunk driving surcharge, $100. Victim assistance fund, $78. Royal youth abuse surcharge, $5. Community driving data, $2. Restoration justice surcharge, $10. Probation supervision fee, $900. Cost and care of probation, $1,454.94. Total cost, $2,926.44. Now you justify that bullshit. And don't tell me you're a bunch of political, bureaucratic, oligarch vultures sucking the very blood, income from average Colorado citizens any way that you can. Overpriced housing, corrupted, scam, con, traffic violations, which you try to justify with your progressive state bullshit. Governor of Colorado, you're a shield like everybody else in White House politics that you rip off common working class people who work hard for their living. I'm 67 years old, ass. I've worked and paid taxes all my life. And I'm 67. You can't live off Social Security in your dumbass state of Colorado with your overpriced housing. So elderly people have to work. You have no choice. Or you'll become homeless like the people you don't give a damn about. Now, I don't know about all the rest of you inept, ignorant, stupid colonist sheep that just follow this proverbial bullshit terrorist regime you call a stolen America. Me, I will call you out on it every single time. Governor of Colorado. This is bullshit. This is the con. This is the scam. Why you wonder why I'm the way that I am about your stolen America and your criminal justice department. And by me being part Native American, I also know the other inhumane crimes that you committed along with this bullshit. Am I pissed off? Yeah, I'm pissed off. Because you and your prosecutors lied your ass off. And I have here proof of what I'm saying. You didn't even put the results of the breathalyzer test on the summons. And it's right here in black and white. But yet and still you want to charge me. And your lying prosecutor tell me that they'll waive the under influence charge, which you charge me for. Even a judge, when you had me locked up in jail and I went to see him to get released, even he said, where is the results of the breathalyzer test? The reason why I didn't have a court date till July, when the occurrence happened in May, so you could bring up your Trump charges. That's the bullshit that I'm talking about. Governor of Colorado. Now, maybe your rednecks in Platteville, Colorado, or Greeley, Colorado, follow that little criminal gambit that you got going on for your municipality to steal from working class people. And it is theft. Because all these little bullshit charges that you have on this is nothing but theft. There's nothing legit about it. I'm from back east. When you go to court, they'll charge you a $500 fine, especially if it's your first offense. And this little bullshit charge of saying consecutive, it is no consecutive, dumbass. It's one time. I did a stupid act. After driving all my life, and I'm 67 years old, one time I made a dumb mistake. And you're going to charge me almost $3,000 for it? Asshole. And you don't think a stolen America isn't corrupt? A stolen America justice system is about as criminal as its government is? This is proof of your corruption, of your scams and your cons, against the citizens of a stolen America. And you don't think I'm going to appeal it? I'm going to appeal the hell out of it. And yeah, I'm going to find me a lawyer. And when I'm done, I'm going to sue the state of Colorado for corruption. Because I'm sick and tired of your political bureaucratic bullshit in this country. That you got a criminal for a president, a mafia treasonous goat who bought and sold his ass like a whore on the street. Who extorts money from his real estate empire. Works with Russian mafia, Italian mafia, criminals around the world. But you want to do this bullshit to average American citizens. And I'm not the only one. That's the point. I'm the only one who's going to speak up about it, who don't put his tail between his legs and run because you're scared of bureaucrat oligarchs and their illegal, corrupted justice system. No, I'm not scared. I'm African American, part Native American. I have no fear for pale-faced bureaucratic criminals and terrorist regime. And I'm not one of your Negroes on the street with a 40 in his hand or a crack pipe. Or one of your marijuana dope heads. Or one of your methamphetamines. Or one of your heroin addicts in the corners in the alleyway of Colorado, Denver, Colorado, or Longmont, Colorado, or Greeley, Colorado, or Loveland, Colorado. I think I gained an education. I'm not one of your house niggas that you think is going to run and hide from you. I'll be in your face, mayor, governor of Colorado. If people had any heart, any empathy, any conviction of humanity, actually cared of the filth and corruption that goes on in this country. You talk about bearing arms, talking about the right to bear arms. I see no militia. I see no rebellion. All I see is a bunch of compliant sheep and goats with this mockery of rebellion. And it all goes away once the cameras shut off. You justify, Governor, $1 million, $500,000, $350,000 for proverbial cheap boxes you throw up and you call them houses, condominiums, and apartments. But you have no affordable housing. Like everybody else, you make bullshit excuses of why it's not happening. Like your incompetent rail service that hasn't worked for years. When you had railroads back in the 1800s, and it's 2018, and you can't even get a rail service running right, but you'll pump millions and millions of dollars into the system. Where is that money going? That's supposedly be fixing your incompetent rail service, just like your court system. Ripping off average Colorado citizens, taxpayers, who pays your salary, Governor. This is how you justify the same theft, pillaging of a stolen America. And I'll call you out on it every single time for the world to see what corruption looks like. Pieces of worthless paper, just like your Constitution, because you have no rights, or your so-called freedoms, or liberty and justice for all bullshit of a false flag. And you wonder why people take a knee. This is why you take a knee. Why black people had to die on the street? Why black people had to be lynched, tar and feathered, whipped, working in your terrorist regime cotton fields, building your so-called White House in Capitol Hill. Slaves in a bullshit country have talked about freedom and justice for all. Just like your women. Property. Had no voice, had no rights. And there's liberty and justice for all bullshit. Justify that, Governor, Colorado. How marijuana is illegal, that you go to prison for it, but because you want to legalize it, and your so-called bureaucrats and oligarchs are making money off of it, now it's different. You pay people to go to prison, but you charge a citizen for 2 days in jail. What hypocrisy bullshit is that? You pay somebody that you illegally incarcerate in prison, pay him. But for a person you put in jail for 2 days, you'll charge him. That's the corruption and hypocrisy bullshit that I'm talking about. If you have any balls, any humanitarian conviction or empathy for working class America, for the elderly in America, for the homeless in America, Governor, you would change this bullshit of corruption, scams, cons, of bureaucratic oligarchs in a so-called progressive state. Your real estate conglomerate, vultures, your Google, Amazon, bureaucratic oligarchs who actually run your city for you because they invest multi-millions and billions of dollars into your so-called progressive state that doesn't even have a legit rail service. And I call it for what it is. Your corrupted legal system. your corrupted courts. Your corrupted city and state prosecutors. Who pump money into these municipalities, ripping off working class Colorado citizens. And you call that humane? You had any balls, Governor of Colorado? Meet me face to face. Unless you want to be this little cowardice, little sheep and run away. Meet me face to face. Tell me. You can call this legit. I'm done.